Welcome to the discussion of the General Studies Paper 3. I am Devesh Verma, faculty of the General Studies paper at ZETA IAS. Today, in this video, we will discuss the syllabus of General Studies Paper 3 and the role of the PYQs, how they are important, how much they are important. And apart from this, we will also analyze the resources that are required to prepare for the General Studies Paper 3. So, let's directly move to the syllabus part. As most of you have prepared for the prelims examination and must have also seen the syllabus of General Studies Paper 3, it has been divided into 4 parts. If you see properly, that I will mention here. Right? Okay. First part is economy and agriculture. Second part is science and technology. Third part is environment, sustainable development, conservation, and disaster management. And the last part is related with the internal security. So these are the 4 parts in which your whole General Studies Paper 3 syllabus has been divided. Not officially by UPSC, but if you analyze the last year trends of the question that has been asked and how the PYQs are analyzed is primarily based on these parts. It will help you how to prepare, how much to prepare, what to cover, and how much to cover. So basically, it's all about coverage and the depth. Okay, one by one, we will discuss all the 4 parts. After all, what they contains, and then we will move on to the weightage given by UPSC in the last particularly 2 years to those topics, and what kind of questions and their trends has been observed in the last 10 years and particularly in the last 2 to 3 years. Okay, let's move on to the first part. Let's see its syllabus first. As you are seeing, is divided into economy and agriculture. Let's see what economy contains. Economy primarily revolves around the Indian economy only. Some international trades are also there. Some international reports sometimes come related to the worldwide. So, economy has primarily 10 topics. You will go and see in the syllabus part. It's having the 10 points. What they are? They are related with the resource mobilization. Some of the topics I'm giving you right now here: resource mobilization, planning, unemployment status, unemployment status, inclusive growth, and then fiscal policy. It has all the fiscal consolidation part, fiscal inclusion part. There are other topics as well. Some of those topics are, I will mention in on the next page. Have you noted down the first topic, first page, right? You must have seen all this. Okay, we are going to the next page. Government budgeting, and lot of other topics also. So this was the first section of the first part. Let's move on to the next section, that is related to the agriculture. So agriculture is one of the most easiest topics to understand, but it requires a hell lot of coverage. So how much to cover, as I've told you, how much in depth you have to go. It will be analyzed while we will look at the role of PYQs, right? So what does it contain after all? It contains cropping patterns, in India particularly, only in India, right? Irrigation, systems, irrigation systems, types of irrigation systems, issues related with it. There is PDS, subsidies, animal rearing, and then there are other topics like e-tech, e-tech, ad, e-technology, aid to the farmers or the farming system, whatever, right? So these are the some of the topics. Are other topics are also there, but like buffer stock, warehousing, etc., marketing, food processing industry, food processing sector is also there. So food processing, in food processing you must have seen, you must have studied the foundation course of somewhere else, or right, but from the basic books also, right? What does it, food processing sector is all about? It has upstream, downstreams. What does it mean? What are the issues, challenges related with the food processing sector of India, right? It's related with this topic only. So as you see, they are easy to understand, but it requires a hell lot of coverage and memorization. So how much and how in depth you have to go, it will be analyzed later on. So come to the next part, topic part. Next topic was related to the science and tech. So how this science and tech is different from the science and tech that you have studied for the prelims. You must have studied a lot of prelims concepts related with the science tech. But here you have to go little bit more in depth, because you have to write here. You don't have to pick one option out of many. And what are the topics? Let's see. It's related with basic science, related with everyday use, right? So when UPSC write everyday use, it becomes highly subjective. Whatever you see, everything under the sun related with science is related with this topic. Like your phone you are using, when you are going through the car, what kind of technologies are related in the car that is used by car while driving, or even toll collection also. The previous year question has been asked regarding the toll collection technology, particularly by the UPSC in the mains examination. So, in this topic, there is all the achievement of the Indian scientist. In science and technology, you have to study particularly space, AI, artificial intelligence, and apart from this, you have to study the nanotechnology, biotechnology, robotics. So these are the separate field for of engineering or the medical science or whatever. So from where you will analyze how much we have to study, what kind of topics we have to analyze, because a hell lot of topics comes daily on newspapers. There are so many newspapers and so many websites, so many applications out there in the market who tells you around 100 news regarding the science daily. So what is important? So we will discuss this later. So this is the technology part in the science and tech. Although this topic remains neglected by most of the students, but it's very high scoring topic. Very high scoring topic. Why? Because you just need to understand the basic science. You have to just need to understand the basic concept and have a notes prepared on that. After that, what you can do, you can analyze the trends of UPSC, what from where exactly they are asking the questions, what kind of questions they are asking. Like recently, I've given you the example of the toll collection technology used on the highway. It has been asked by UPSC, right? So we will discuss another question related with it, science and technology, later, so that you can it will be easy for you to identify exactly how much needed to cover the syllabus, how much preparation is needed to cover the syllabus, right? So let's move on to the third part. It also has the IP, intellectual property. So you must have known the what is a IP, that is intellectual property. What are the issues related with the IP in India, and some international issues are there, right? So let's quickly move on to the next part. Next part is related with the environment, conservation, biodiversity, EIA, environment impact assessment, and disaster management. This is also one of the topics that is neglected by the student, because simply they have prepared environment heavily in the prelims. While they were preparing for the prelims, they have worked up all the environment, understood all. But here it is little bit different, because you can write average answer with that knowledge, but you required some in-depth knowledge, some case studies, some datas with you, some reports with you, while you can write all these in your examination. And disaster management is a static topic. Also have some current affairs related topics. Why I am saying the current affairs related topics? Because what happens that whenever some disaster happens related with the flooding, urban flooding, like what happened in the Tamil Nadu a few years back, or the Uttarakhand flooding, the trend has been observed that UPSC generally asks within 1 to 2 years these questions, or primarily on the same year. So it's very easy to prepare the current affair, but you have to be cautious. You have to know the data, because data is the prime concern in the general stage paper 3, right? So come to the next one, that is last part is related with the internal security. Internal security. When we talk about the internal security, it is related to the security of the India in terms of whatever happening inside India, right? It's divided into cyber security, related issues, what is cyber security and what kind of issues it has, and then there is a topic related with the communication network. We usually call it social media issues, related with the social media and other communication devices. So next is related with the terrorism, insurgency. So what you must be knowing the difference between the terrorism and insurgency. Both are different terms, right? Terrorism and insurgency, like there is an Naxalism, insurgency, and Manipur issues that you have seen, right? These are insurgencies. Third topic is related with the organized crime, organized crimes, linkage with development. And the last one is related with the mandate of security forces, and the issues related with it. Okay, these are the primarily the 4 topics that your whole internal security syllabus revolves around. So I have given you so far the brief overview of the syllabus. Why I have given you the brief overview of syllabus is simply because you can identify and club the related topics and prepare accordingly. Because if you don't club the similar topics, it becomes really haphazard and sometimes very hectic to understand how much to cover and where to cover, how much interlinkages are there in topics. Like there is one topic related with GS2 and GS3. Sometimes paper also have linkages Like there is a one topic related to the poverty. It is there in GS2, but in GS3, you can see there is an unemployment topic. Both are cause and effect of both are the same, right? But how you prepare these topics in the separate subjects is entirely a different ball game together. Right? And how you will write the answer is also different. So these are the things that I want to convey through while defining the syllabus for you, describing the syllabus. Let's move on to the role of the PYQs quickly. Role of PYQ is very, very important, simply because it aligns your preparation in a right direction. It also gives you the weightage that UPSC is giving to particular topics. That is called trend from in the particular last few years, like 2 or 3 years. You can see the recent trend and the overall trend of the last 10 years, starting from almost 12 years earlier, from 2013 to 2015. I will give you the weightage now. How much weightage is UPSC is giving to these 4 different parts of the UPSC General Studies Paper 3 syllabus. First part was the economy plus agriculture. Sorry. Economy plus agriculture. Right. What was second part? Second part was science and tech. Third part was environment plus disaster management. Fourth part was internal security. In the last 2 years, we have seen the particular trend. What is that trend? I will tell you how the UPSC is giving importance to these parts that we have observed. Question papers, whole marks, total marks is 250. So what has UPSC has done? It has divided 100 marks for first part, 50 marks for second part, 50 marks for third part, and 50 marks for fourth part. So you must be wondering how this first part is having 100 marks. Why not 50 or something, 75, something. I'll tell you how. Because one part, that is economic part, is of 50 marks. Another agricultural part is also of 50 marks. So are you able to analyze now from the last 2 years trends? All topics has been equally weighted by UPSC. What does it mean? It simply means that all topics have equal importance for UPSC. But what about you? Will you prepare equally for all the topics because it has same marks? No. Equal efforts are not required for all the topics. As I've told you, some topics are very large, like agriculture and all. It's easy to understand. And some topics like science and tech and environment particularly are more scoring if you prepare in the right direction. If you observe the trend of last few years and you keep an eye on the evolving technologies around you, right? So this is the recent trend. So far, in the last 10 years, what the UPSC has done for the first particular topic, I will tell you how much weightage has been given by UPSC in the last particular 10 years. In first part, that is economic part, it has given around 35 questions, more than 35 plus questions in the last 10 years. This is the highest number of questions asked in this part, more than any topic of economy, right? So it becomes one of the most crucial part for you to prepare. And then comes the infrastructure. Infra part. It is under the economic section, and 20 plus question has been asked from this infrastructure part only, in which you see the rail infrastructure, road infrastructure, waterways infrastructure. I'm talking about inland waterways and airways, like the Udaan scheme sometimes has been asked multiple times. And then comes the investment models and the fiscal. This includes the investment model, infrastructure and investment models. 20 questions are based on infrastructure and investment models, right? Investment models, you must have read about the BOT, hybrid annuity model and all those, right? Then comes the questions related with the fiscal policy. Eleven question has been asked in the last 10 years related to fiscal policy. Fiscal policy as such has not been defined in the syllabus, but it's related to the fiscal deficit, fiscal issues mentioned in the budget or the economic survey, fiscal consolidation, financial inclusions, FRVM Act, and Finance Commission. These all topics are related to the fiscal policy that I am telling you here. This is the third most important topic. And after that, these are primarily the most important, and other topics are having a 7 to 8 question every in the last 10 years. 7 to 8 questions have asked by UPSC from all the remaining topics of particularly part 1, that is economy and agriculture. So in the part 1, the most important topic is the agriculture, right? Number of questions are very high, so it's one of the UPSC favorite topics. But what PYQ suggests is that it gives just 50 questions marks in recent trend 20. So will you rely on the PYQ analysis completely? I think the answer you already know while seeing these contradictions. Simply because sometimes what happens, UPSC set a trend, after that it breaks the trend. That's why it is called sometimes unpredictable service commission. And this is the beauty of this examination. So what happens, while you're preparing, you have to see what are the recurring themes, what are the so that you can go for the most probable question. You are able to predict the most probable questions that can be asked while you are solving the PYQs. But what happens, sometimes you over rely on PYQs, and in the meantime you neglect most of the topics like science and tech and other topics, or some other areas of that particular topic, like in an Indian economy there is investment model. You sometimes don't prepare for that also because a lot of questions has not been asked. And there is one topic called Niti Aayog, or in 2018 only one question has been asked. So far no question has been asked till now in the last 12 years in Niti Aayog. But as we know, Niti Aayog completes the 10 years. So do you think the question will come for Niti Aayog or not? Because it has come only one time. So can it come next year or this year? We don't know. So what you will do? You will leave or prepare less for this? No. What is the right way to prepare is simply analyze the trend, write the answers of those PYQs, capture the themes where questions revolve around, and the most of the questions or the trends or the themes that UPSC is focusing on. Once you master that, you have to prepare remaining topics as well with the same intensity. Sometimes what people say that PYQs are the most important thing while UPSC preparation. I agree, but you can't completely rely on that, right? So your preparation has to be completely holistic in 360. As I have given you the example of Niti Aayog, right? If they ask you right now, means this year, the questions regarding Niti Aayog, many of you won't be prepared for that. If some intricate question has been asked or some comparison with some the planning commission has been asked for comparison, next something else can be asked. Okay, so what is the conclusion? PYQs are important, no doubt about it, but you can't completely rely on PYQs. Okay, so we will move on to the next topic, that is science and tech. Science and tech is very in curiosity. While you study science and tech, your curiosity will be high, particularly for the science and engineering students. And also for the persons who are curious in other fields also, like the arts and all, right? So what we have observed, that in the beginning I have told you that the technology that we use every day, that like example of toll collection has been asked last year. What kind of technologies are employed on the highway while collecting the tolls? So you must have passed from the highways, but you have never thought how this technology works. But UPSC asks. And sometimes not only what is in news that is important, you have to also observe the technologies working around you, like the EVs, lithium ion battery. People are also developing aluminum ion battery at Tesla, and it has more capacity and the more generation and discharge cycles is more than 10,000. So you have to keep an eye on those as well, right? So not only the tech in everyday use, sorry, everyday use tech you have to see, like how Wi-Fi works and all, your ATM works, something like that, UPI works. And there is also the tech related with the defense sector. As we have as we have already told you, it's a fifth topic. While describing the last break weightage of the different parts, I forgot to tell you that two questions of 10 marks and two questions of 15 marks has been asked. So how much? 50 marks. So this 50 marks has been divided into two questions of 10 marks and two questions of 15 marks in every part of the UPSC syllabus, that is 4 parts. So we were talking about the defense sector. You must have seen Operation Sindoor, what kind of technologies they were employing, India were employing, Pakistan were employing, like 5th generation aircraft, 6th generation aircraft, right? So radar technologies that India was using S-400, Akash Air Defense Missile Systems, right? In the last year, we have seen the questions related with the UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. So these are the topics regarding which are frequently in use, like UAVs. Generally, what happens? Pakistan uses UAVs to drop weapons and drugs in neighboring state, particularly Punjab and J&K. So UPSC asked last time one question related with it. What kind of technologies or what kind of strategies India is using? So it's a very dynamic area. If you are interested, you will score, definitely. And if you are not even interested, then you will also have to score to get selected. So what do you need to do? You just need to take the right direction and observe the things around you in a scientific manner, like curious child. So whenever you see ATM card or how it works, you should ask yourself and you should use your chat GPT and all those stuff or the apps in your everyday life. You should try to use it. It will help your preparation and build your personality as well. Okay. So this is a very crucial topic. These are the technologies. And apart from that, sometimes what happens, they also ask the issues related with the genetic modified crops, right? Some adult trends that is in news. Sorry, some adult trends. These are particularly the news related. You will find in current affairs magazines, particularly these news. That is most important. Like sometimes questions are asked on monosodium glutamate in Maggie. Sometimes they ask when India banned it, why they banned it. You should know what kind of uh, why they were banned it, because how much it is permissible, it depends upon, and how much it is not. How much India permits, how much WHO permits. You should have complete understanding of that, so that you can write the better answer in UPSC examination. Right? So that requires depth. So coming on to the last part, that is internal security. Come to the last part. Wait. Here, one topic was also left, that is the intellectual property. This topic is related with the patents, different kind of copyrights, there, and what are the issues related with India with international bodies and domestic issues that India is facing. So this is the topic. So come to the next one. Last part is the internal security. Internal security. In internal security, first topic is related with the organized crimes and development. Relation between organized crime, and development. Here you will see how the gangs and the drug lord operate, how narco terrorism works, right? How these proceedings from these crimes goes to the terrorist organizations and other illegal activities. It comes under this topic. And another next topic is cyber security. In cyber security, there is a topic called the cyber security policies. What is meant by cyber security? Why it is so much important for India nowadays after the fourth industrial revolution? Now we are in fifth, right? When everything is online needs to be protected, and you all know data is new oil, right? So this is the most important topic. Sometimes in this part, most important in preparing. Also, other topics are also important, no doubt. But this is the most emerging and dynamic part. It's related with the issues of social media or communication networks. How these communication networks are used by criminal elements. Communication network used by criminal elements to further their interests, to destabilize India, right? Like dark web. You must have heard about dark web, how it is different from the normal website, right? Issues of cryptocurrency here. And the next topic is related with money laundering and its prevention. It's a static topic, but you know, ED is nowadays in news a lot of times. So frequently mentioned organization in newspapers nowadays. So this topics remains important. ED is related with Enforcement Directorate, right? And the last topic is related with security forces mandate. Security forces, right? And their mandate. Here, what you will see is what kind of paramilitary forces that we have. When we say security forces, we are talking about the paramilitary forces. Paramilitary forces. We know around seven forces are there. That comes under the Home Ministry. So CRPF, CISF, BSF, ITBP, Assam Rifles. And what are their mandates? Assam Rifles works against the insurgency. CRPF works against insurgency. CISF particularly handles the security of the India's vital installations related with atomic power, space, or dams, etc. So this is also the dynamic and very important topic nowadays, because the whole world is going against each other nowadays. You can see the Ukraine and Russia war is going on for last 2-3 years, and Israel and Iran recently, India, Pakistan last month. So the security related aspect of this general studies paper 3 are highly dynamic and very important. It feels like that you know everything sometimes what has happened between India, Pakistan, Operation Sindoor. But sometimes what happens, UPSC asks the very simple questions like what kind of technology used by India. You will write S400. It has this missile. But sometimes they will ask you some basic working of the radars. What kind of radar? Just mention the radars of S400, right? What kind of radars? Just name it. Sometimes they can ask. What happened last year? They have asked one question related with the asteroid. I'll wait. One, if you see the last year question paper, they have asked particularly one question related with the asteroid. Question was simply this: what are the techniques used by various organizations to reduce the damage from or catastrophe from happening if any asteroids comes towards Earth? You have to give 3 strategies or 3 techniques or technologies. So what do you think? They have asked a random question. It's not the case. Last year there was a one mission, DART mission. DART mission by NASA was in news. This mission was related with the asteroid destruction in case if it comes near Earth orbit or in the path of or orbital orbit of Earth. It used the deflection technique. So you have to mention that technique here. So sometimes what happens, UPSC won't ask you directly the DART question, DART mission. It will ask you the basics of technology, what it does. Sometimes you would be confused here, what to do. Is it relevant here or not? Should I write anything? So what is required? You should know asteroid. You should know what is the dangers of asteroid, right? Dangers of asteroid if it collide with the Earth. How much amount of damage it can create on Earth. And apart from this, what are the technologies like nuclear blast on Earth? Oh, sorry, nuclear blast on asteroid, so that it get deflected and doesn't arrive on Earth, right? So what I'm trying to say is simply that you need to be completely involved in preparation of GS3 paper while keeping in mind the basics and at the same time what is happening around you. And completely you should not be focused on the PYQs or the trends. You should train your mind so that if anything comes which is not seen in the previous trend, you are able to absorb the shock and write better answer with your existing knowledge. So we have designed a test series having a daily answer writing questions. Total 5 questions are there per day. 1 question will be PYQ and 4 questions will be related with these topics, these general studies paper 3 topics, based on our predictions and the importance which can help you in your preparation and enhance your marks in the mains this year and further subsequent examinations. So these are the trends, issues and the role plays by PYQs, right? We have discussed. So hopefully you will all join test series as and when you want to enhance your marks, right? So let's conclude this lecture here. See you in the next lecture. Okay, happy learning.